Well, this ain't ending anytime soon because Ryan Reynolds has just doubled down and essentially waged war on Justin Baldoni. Plus, Colleen Hoover is getting a little litty city in her kitchen at 8 a.m. What's going on? Let's get ready, guys. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV serve fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Happy, what's today? Wednesday. Happy hump day. Wednesday. Hey. What's up, guys? Just a couple of announcements. I'm on Don't Let It Stew this week. Chef Stew. Justin just filed. Oh, he just filed a response. Oh, I guess we're about to get into that. Sorry, have not been on my phone for the last. Oh, there it is. Okay. Justin's response. Ooh. All right. Well, I guess we're about to go through it, aren't we? Well, before we dive into Justin's response, I'll pull it up live, and I guess that's what we'll review today. But let's recap this Colleen Hoover thing. Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds, and I mean, it really looks like we are not. We're going all the way to trial. We're not settling anytime soon because I mean, Ryan Reynolds seems to be taking shots. You and Donna, I need to do a 3 live. Well, actually, so Fridays, we've been doing Town Hall Fridays here on No Filter. So this Friday, I'm going to have Donna and Dave Neal. We're all going to be in person together. We're filming it at Spotify. So this Friday's Town Hall will be with me, Donna, and Dave Neal. We'll probably dive into all of this as well. But yeah, lots to get into. I'm not going to go page by page on Ryan Reynolds' motion to dismiss because I think Asked Two Lawyers did a really good job of that. Donna did a really good job of that. So I'm just going to very briefly catch you up to speed if you haven't, if you've been under a rock the last 16 hours. I will catch you up on that. Ryan Reynolds is basically waging war on Justin Baldoni and doubling down on claims that he believes that Justin Baldoni is a quote unquote predator, which we'll get to in a sec. But I first wanted to start with this video that's really kind of wild, like truly crazy. Colleen Hoover posted this video on her Instagram stories yesterday, and it's very alarming. So I'm just going to play it for you guys, and we'll react to it in just a sec. But here we go. Yeah.
Maybe either a new rock bottom for me or the best thing that's ever come out of my brain. Look at this. I poured Diet Pepsi into my ice cubes so that I will have the best Diet Pepsi I've ever had in my life. I'll let you know how it goes.
This is lit.
So far, it looks pretty disgusting.
Yeah. It's frozen ice cubes with Diet Pepsi. Not looking too hot.
Here we go. Do you think other people do this? You put water in our water. Do y'all put wine in your wine? I guess you don't drink wine with ice cubes, though. I'll do anything not to drink coffee. It tastes just like every other Diet Pepsi I've ever had. But I guess the kicker is, in 2 hours, when this ice starts to melt, will it be the best thing I've ever had? Probably. It's gonna be a great day. Remember like 5 minutes ago when I ended the last video with "It's going to be a great day." Well, then I went into Cohorts, which is my Facebook group, and saw that my boss, Stephanie, put all of my merch on sale for $10 an item. That's like 5 times cheaper than what I paid for each item, which means by the end of the day today, I'm going to be broke as shit. Thanks, Stephanie. You better be careful because maybe TMZ was right. Maybe I am firing all my employees and retiring. Well, I can't retire now because now I'm going to be in the hole by 5 p.m. Even if you hate me, you should go buy a piece because it's a very kind of bad thing. Anyway, at least I have my Diet Pepsi. It's still going to be a great day because you guys get almost free merch. Congrats.
Ooh, wowzas. Wow. So a lot of people, I posted this on my Instagram and on TikTok or on the No Filter Instagram account rather. And a lot of people are like, what's disturbing about this video? I'm like, guys, this was posted at like 8 a.m. Or even if you want to say, okay, maybe you want to go with Eastern time, then this was posted at the latest 11 a.m., which doesn't make it any better that she's that lit. Like, is it pills? Is it people are like, ooh, the gummy just hit? That's a lot more than a gummy. That's not just a gummy. I've gone on Instagram stories and done my gummies, but like when you're enthralled in a big giant scandal, like I don't know. And you're like, we put water in our water. Do we put wine in our wine? And then she's like, no, wait, we don't drink wine with ice. I do sometimes. Listen, if the ice isn't chilled and I just got it from the store, I ain't gonna wait. I'm gonna crack it right open and pour it over some ice. I like how I showed you my hand because I did that, which shows you that I did a twist off instead of a cork, which shows you my caliber on some nights when I just need a bottle of wine. Crazy, wild, wackadoodle do. Colleen Hoover does not seem to be doing so hot. Some people said that she posts stuff like this quite often, or at least like did during COVID era. I don't know. I didn't follow her. I wasn't aware of her prior to this whole "It Ends With Us" drama. So can't speak to that, but also just not a good look. I mean, I know she's not named in any of the lawsuits. She's not facing litigation, but I feel like her reputation right now is kind of taking a hit. And also, she says that her merch is $10 and that's 5 times cheaper than what she paid for the merch. So, how much did she pay for each piece of merch? $50 she paid $50 for a t-shirt? Well, also, if it's for $10, that means they're just trying to get rid of inventory. That's a clearance sale, right? That's a clearing house sale because the merch probably ain't selling because nobody wants to go buy, Colleen Hoover merch. Like, who's like, yeah, Colleen Hoover, it ends with us. Ooh, like, no, nobody wants that. Sorry, nobody asked for that. But yikes, yowzas. Oh, not looking too good. Kenny G said Dave Neal is interviewing Miss Glamour Dragon. He's not interviewing Miss Glamour Dragon. He interviewed Taylor, I believe Taylor Lorenz. You're confusing Taylor Lorenz with Stephanie McNeil, which, by the way, I feel like I said this on Donna's show yesterday. I reached out to Stephanie McNeil, not to come on this show. It was not an invite to come on the podcast, but I sent her a nice email just being like, listen, I've been through it. I've been persecuted on the internet before when people hate you and they're writing all the mean things about you and you're getting all the mean comments. I get it. I've been on the internet a very long time, been through this, right? So one, human to human, just on a very, very human level, keep your head up. Like, don't let the negative comments affect you because that can really affect somebody's mental health, right? Number one. And I know people get mad at me for even saying that to her, but listen, at the end of the day, I'm a person and I know what it feels like when the internet is against you. Okay. Even though it kind of feels like now she really likes and is thriving off of this chaos. And two, I said, listen, clearly we don't see this eye to eye, but like, if you would like to have a private, off the record conversation, I would be open to that. Like, I think, this is an olive branch, would love to talk, and maybe we can, maybe not fully agree at the end of the day, but would like to at least have some sort of common ground, right? Let's at least try to, respect each other and the way we view things differently. Like, I would like to understand where you're coming from. I think I know where you're coming from, but I would like to understand your position better. Hopefully, you're open to understanding my position better. And like, let me explain to you why all the mommy sleuths are upset. Let me explain to you why women are particularly offended by what you've said and how you've doubled down. And let me kind of like get a chance to defend content creators here. So it was an open invitation to have a private, off the record conversation, and she declined. It was a hard no. So, doesn't seem like they want to understand our side at all, which is totally fine. That's their prerogative. I respect that. But I'm curious to see. I've chatted briefly with Dave Neal, or we've at least texted in the past 24 hours. So my understanding is his conversation with Taylor Lorenz went well. I would love to, well, I feel like these people, I adore Dave, right? I do adore Dave, but I feel like he's a much, um, I don't want to say softer, but like he's a bit more passive. Whereas I feel like they're probably a bit more afraid of me because I'm a bit more like feisty and abrasive. And, I clap back, I pop off, you hit me, I'll hit you 10 times, you go low, I go lower. Like but I do have the ability to come to the table and have a respectful conversation as long as there's mutual respect, right? So, you know, but I think they're probably a little more scared of me than maybe Dave. I don't know. Like Nick Vial would never sit down with me, but I think one, I feel like I would uh put him to shame. But I do believe my team has reached out to his team to see if he would even be open to that. I don't think he would be open to that. I just think he also thinks he's above me, that he would never take the time out to sit with a peasant like me. Steph McNeil, I thought that maybe we could just have a nice conversation and maybe just kind of find some common ground. Does not seem open to that at all. So I don't know. And Taylor Lorenz, I have not invited her on the show. I haven't reached out to her. I haven't talked to her. I just think she's a bit of a thirst bucket and I don't trust her. So I don't know if I would offer that invite. She hasn't reached out either, but I don't know. She's a bit of a hack to me, and her press tour lately seems like she kind of wants to jump in on this attention and have that contrarian voice, which is just kind of weird. My understanding of Taylor Lorenz too is that she's very much still like a believer of Amber Heard. So, and not that the public is dumb and deceptive about Amber Heard. I just think they saw the allegations she made against Johnny Depp. It's very obvious that the allegations she made against Johnny Depp were exaggerated and that they were both in a volatile relationship and that she's not as innocent as she was claiming to be. So, yeah. Natalie says, I saw on Melanie King's show that she read that one of Blake Lively's lawyers left. Not sure if that's true. I know that that's a rumor, and it's because the attorney is now representing another high profile case. So people are assuming that he will be exiting Blake Lively's case because it's unlikely that an attorney would have the time or the bandwidth or even the interest in covering two high profile cases at the same time. So right now it's just speculation. As far as I've seen, he's still part of the lawsuit, especially with the most recent legal filing. So her attorney, Blake Lively's attorney, as of right now, has not left the case to my understanding, but it's presumes that he likely will in the near future because he just took on another high profile client. So kind of seems like you can't really do two at once. Like if you're going to battle one, I mean, don't feel like he has a strong case with Blake Lively anyway. So, yeah. Everybody's everybody's like Colleen Hoover. What's in the tumbler? Is that rum? It's a what is it? What did Johnny Depp call his? A mega pint. She's got a mega pint of something. I hate that people love her books. Let people love her books. That's like people who are like upset with J.K. Rowling and they're like, oh, I'm gonna burn Harry Potter books. It's like you can still enjoy and appreciate Harry Potter even if you dislike J.K. Rowling. Both things can be true. Some people really do like J.K. Rowling, and that's, they're allowed to do that. So, everyone's like, I'm not buying her merch. Okay, don't buy her merch. Oh, the Court of Random Opinion. Hi, what's up, girl? I like your show. I like your YouTube. Guys, follow the Court of Random Opinion. She's saying hi to everybody but me. She's saying hi to Velo. She's saying hi to, now I feel rejected because she's not saying hi to Natalie. What about me? I feel like the Glamour magazine editor. I'm like, what about me? Pay attention to me. Hi, Anna Betsy. Saying hi to everybody but me. Zack, I hope you collab with more sleuths. I will absolutely collab with more sleuths. I love collabing with all the sleuths. Okay, she said, hi, Zack. Sorry, but if I keep saying hi, then it just gives more comments on your video. Thank you. Well, I'm saying please say hi to everybody, but like, don't forget about me. I think Dave is far too nice for these kinds of people. Diplomacy is nice, but she's not that kind of person. Yeah, I don't think that Taylor Lorenz is, a nice kind of gal. I would love to listen, but here's the thing. All these people, they are very not willing to sit down with me. Not to say that I would be rude or disrespectful, but I can hold my own at the table. I can definitely hold my own and, hold people accountable. Call Zack Daddy Sleuth. Yes, that's my new name. I put it in my Instagram bio too. Daddy Sleuth. Today, the Daddy Sleuths are uniting because I'm taping with Dave Neal today. Okay. Ryan Reynolds. So here's what's cuckoo crazy. He's doubling down and calling Justin Baldoni a predator. So he filed a motion to dismiss, as we've seen with Leslie Sloan, as we've seen with the New York Times, right? Not that groundbreaking. It's pretty standard to file a motion to dismiss. Everybody files a motion to dismiss. Rachel Levis and Ariana Madix and Tom Sandoval on the revenge porn case that's coming forth, and that trial is supposed to begin this November. They filed their motions to dismiss. Andy Cohen and his lawsuit with Leah McSweeney, he filed a motion to dismiss. They were trying to, very standard, to try to stay discovery, to avoid the discovery process moving forward until a judge determines whether or not they're dismissed or not. It's kind of a delaying tactic. It kind of just continues to make the case a lot more annoying and dragged on, right? But I will say this. I don't think that this helped Blake Lively's case at all. One, it looks kind of weird when the husband is asking to be dismissed and the wife is still technically part of the lawsuit. I just think it kind of looks weird. I mean, it's standard, it's procedural, it's a legal tactic for sure, but I just think from an optics perspective, not that he wouldn't want to be dismissed, but it's like if you're trying to get dismissed and not really defending your wife in the dismissal, like it just to me kind of falls flat. But whatever. And basically his argument, it's mostly about the defamation case, right? Because there's also like false light and I think some contract dispute as well. And so I think the defamation piece is kind of the meat of the lawsuit against Ryan Reynolds and kind of the meat of his motion to dismiss. And basically he's saying that sure, he called Justin Baldoni a predator, but that's his opinion, and he's entitled to his opinion. Like Tamara Judge at the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion. That's my opinion. And he's saying that he's entitled to his opinion, which, yeah, it's true. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. But just because you have an opinion, doesn't mean that you can use that opinion to, damage somebody else's reputation. And that's really what's happened here is that Justin Baldoni's reputation has been damaged and that there are damages that have occurred. And that's where the WME and Ari Emanuel piece fits in. So we don't know, or we don't have confirmation of who Ryan Reynolds spoke to at WME that ultimately prompted Justin Baldoni to get quote unquote fired, as Ari Emanuel has declared, very strongly declared, very confidently declared that Justin Baldoni was fired, which isn't a correct term because when you are represented by a talent agency or a management company, you're a client. You're not like an employee. You're not a contractor. You're not like paid salary or an hourly rate or a fixed, you don't have a retainer. So you can't really fire someone from a talent agency. You would just part ways with them. And unfortunately, the way the contracts are set up, they can part ways with you at any time for any reason. So you can get dropped by your agent like that for whatever reason, right? But I think Ari Emanuel did Ryan and Blake such a disservice by doing that now lost Freakonomics interview, which thank you, Colonel Kurtz, who was able to get, the iPhone, even though it was a little choppy, she was at least able to get the iPhone recording of it that was then released, that she then released. But it's just the fact that he's saying that, like, this is just his opinion and that's why he should, not be held accountable for this. It's like, sure, if you have just like a flippant opinion and you're sharing it and it's not that deep, that's one thing, right? If you're like having cocktails with friends and you're just kind of chatting, you're like, oh my God, that lady's hair over there looks kind of crazy. That's like a very, whatever opinion. Or you can even be sitting around having cocktails with friends and be like, oh my God, I think Blake Lively is a liar. Sure, you can have that opinion. That's um absolutely, you're entitled to that, right? However, the issue is in this case, it's technically, or what Baldoni is fighting is that it's technically a form of slander and slander doesn't necessarily have to be published to the masses. It just has to be shared with a third party, it has to be said to a third party, or libel if it's in writing, right? Because those are the two forms of defamation. There's libel and then there's slander. Libel is written word, slander is spoken word. And so in this case, it was slander because there was spoken word, and Ryan Reynolds, yes, gave his opinion to somebody at WME that referred to Justin Baldoni as a predator. Okay, got it, cool. However, there was a reputation that was tarnished as a result of this, and there were damages that were experienced as a result of this as well, because you spoke to WME. Clearly, you had some sort of influence because you're a high-profile client at WME, and this resulted in Justin Baldoni and Wayfair being dropped by WME, which it's very clear. Ari Emanuel said on the Freakonomics stage, ride or die for Blake and Ryan, said he was going to go be with Blake and Ryan for SNL, and also said that, Justin Baldoni was fired. He also poked fun at Justin Baldoni, making fun of his last name, calling him Justin Baloney, or being like, but Baldoni, what's his last name? I don't know. And Ari Emanuel, if we replay that clip, Ari Emanuel was very clear about the fact that he doesn't like Justin Baldoni. And very clear about the fact that he was aware that this question was likely to be asked. So this was a premeditated answer, very firmly took a side, made it clear because he said it twice that Justin Baldoni was fired from WME. He seemed very boastful when he was saying this on stage in front of an audience, knowing that there was press in there, knowing that this was going to or was supposed to be recorded and distributed on the Freakonomics podcast, as most live podcasts are. So I think that's going to be the biggest key in, the damages that were caused by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Like Ryan Reynolds said to somebody at WME, I'm pretty sure Brian Friedman knows who that person is, has the name, has some sort of correspondence that can confirm that, maybe a text messages, maybe an email saying, listen, we spoke to Ryan. Ryan said that he thinks that Justin's a predator, and there was clearly some sort of influence that Ryan Reynolds had, because shortly after, Justin Baldoni was dropped. And we know that WME isn't just on a whim dropping their clients because they're enthralled in scandal, because my understanding is they're still representing Diddy. They still represent Diddy because there's pending litigation against Diddy. So, so that's the first piece of Ryan Reynolds' argument, is that it's his opinion that he believes that Justin Baldoni is a predator. That's his opinion. And then he goes a step further by saying, well, even if it's not protected under opinion, technically what I said is not defamatory because it's true. So now he's really doubling down and saying Justin Baldoni is a predator, which is a really interesting move, because it's really going hard. And again, I think they're just trying to be all bark. I don't think there's really much bite to it because, again, I don't know what evidence they have. And even when it comes to proving that Justin Baldoni is a quote unquote predator, as Ryan Reynolds has slammed him, he has to prove that. And he really hasn't been able to prove that. But what he uses are excerpts from his TED Talk, excerpts from his podcast, and excerpts from Justin Baldoni's book. That basically, I mean, one, they're taken out of context. And two, I don't think they're actual admissions of Justin Baldoni saying, yes, I am a predator, which is what Ryan Reynolds is basically trying to argue, that, well, like, look at, these are the things he said. Like, he's basically calling himself a predator. Like, this is true. He is a predator. And because he's a predator, even if the opinion privilege doesn't protect me, the truth does. And listen, facts hurt is what he's basically saying. And I'm just like, this is not going to end well. And this is likely to go to trial. But like, I don't know. I was watching Ask Two Lawyers this morning, and they made a really good point of saying that that the excerpts from the book and the podcast and the TED Talk, are likely to be used as a PR tool to get the public to possibly come back on his side in some way, because they're not really applicable in this case. Like, he can only go based off of the things that are included in the complaint, and these things are not brought up or referenced in the complaint, so therefore they're kind of irrelevant. And I think his team knows that they're irrelevant, but again, they keep trying to play to the public, but like this just keeps backfiring on them. Like every ploy, every move that they make, they think that they're playing, a game of chess, but it's more of like, I think you guys are playing Connect Four and you're not doing a very good job at it. You are not playing chess, you know? So yeah, it's interesting. But he's going hard. You and I go hard at each other like we're going to war. You and I go hard. Da, na, 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 Let's see. Okay, so it looks like Justin Baldoni has responded to Leslie Sloan. And did he respond to... He responded to Leslie Sloan, but did he also respond to Ryan Reynolds? Is that what... Well, let's look at his response to Leslie Sloan. I've heard of the Dragons meeting on August 2024. Maybe. If you go to TMZ, Brian Friedman has given a statement out. Let's see what Brian Friedman is saying now. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Ryan tried to destroy me. Now he wants out. Okay, let's see. Brian Friedman is blasting Ryan Reynolds for filing a request to dismiss Baldoni's lawsuit against him, telling TMZ, Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed from the case, despite his publicly documented involvement extending far beyond just a supportive spouse. Mr. Reynolds was a key player in the scheme defaming Justin around Hollywood, strong-arming WME into dropping Justin as a client and trying to destroy Justin's career however possible. As we reported, Ryan filed the dismissal documents on Tuesday, calling Justin thin-skinned for complaining the so-called Nice Pool character from Deadpool and Wolverine was mocking him. Which is interesting, because he basically admits, I think I have that bit right here that I'll pull up. Let me see. I have this bit from Reynolds that I'll pull it up, where he basically admits to Nice Pool, which was weird. He basically was like, well, yeah, it was. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. This isn't actually what he said. Oh, I'll pull up what he said exactly, and then I'll summarize that. But it says, at the FAC, which is the amended complaint, and the FAC's thin-skinned outrage over a movie character, the satirical woke Nice Pool, does not even pretend to be tied to any actual legal claims. Instead, it falls under the FAC's general allegation of hurt feelings, which in reality is nothing more than a desperate effort to advance the same curated bully image that the Wayfarer parties created and disseminated in the retaliation campaign they launched against Miss Lively in August of 2024. This is wild to me, because he's basically admitting to the Nice Pool bit and being like, he's thin-skinned. What did they say? He's thin-skinned, and these his general allegations of hurt feelings. Like, he's literally like 10 toes down, right? 10 toes down, being like, yeah, I did Nice Pool, and what? He has thin skin. He has hurt feelings. Hurt feelings are not grounds for legal action. It's crazy how hard Ryan Reynolds is coming at him. And it just comes across so arrogant and pompous that to me, I'm like, huh? Like, you think we just fell out of a coconut tree? You think that this is going to win the public over? Like, excuse me, sir? Let's see. Brian Friedman continued by saying, his, as in Reynolds, his fingerprints have been all over the smear campaign against Justin and the Wayfarer team since day one. Mr. Reynolds now attempts to reduce plainly cognizable claims to hurt feelings, sending a clear message that bullying is acceptable. And after lighting a match, Mr. Reynolds now seeks to run from the flames. It won't work. The Wayfarer party's claims against him are real and they are serious. Mr. Reynolds can appear on as many sketch shows as he wants and freely try to make light of his current situation, but we do not stop until he is held accountable for his actions. And obviously the sketch show is the SNL bit that he did, which is again crazy, wackadoodle crazy. Why am I new filing not? Oh, what is this? Is this the response to Leslie Sloan, or is this the response to what's his name? Here. Okay, this is the same one. So this is the response to Leslie Sloan, because Leslie Sloan wants to be dismissed from the case. So let's pull this up. Let's do a share screen. Okay. All right, is that there? We can see it. We can see it. Let's do this. Okay. All right. To the judge, to Honorable Judge Louis J. Lehman. Dear Judge Lehman, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sorowitz, It Ends With Us movie, Melissa Nathan, the agency group PR LLC, and Jennifer Abel, collectively the Wayfarer parties, we object to Leslie Sloan and Vision PR's request for an order pursuant to the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26C, staying discovery as to them pending a determination of their motion to dismiss the Wayfarer party's first amended complaint. Oh, that's what FAC. I was like, wait, what does F stand for? It's first amended complaint. I knew that was amended complaint. Sorry. The court has discretion. I'm right here at the court. The court has discretion to issue a protective order on matters relating to discovery upon showing of good cause. They reference a case saying the burden of showing good cause for the insurance or issuance of a protective order falls on the party seeking the order. Discovery should be routinely stayed simply on the basis that a motion dismissing has been filed. A motion to dismiss has been filed. A court determining whether the grant, okay, well, they're just referencing other cases. A court determining whether to grant a stay of discovery pending a motion must look to the particular circumstances and posture of each case. Courts should consider multiple factors, including the breadth of discovery sought, the burden of responding to it, the prejudice that would result to the party opposing the stay, and the strength to the pending motion forming the basis of the request for stay. First, the Sloan parties, this is just Leslie Sloan and Vision PR, the Sloan parties have not demonstrated that the discovery sought from it will be burdensome. Although the Sloan parties complain about the number of categories of documents sought and the number of interrogatories propounded by the Wayfarer parties, the Sloan parties simultaneously contend that several of the document requests have no discernible relevance to this case and that the Sloan party's role in the overall dispute is small. Oh, so are they admitting that there was a role? But it was just what, a small role? If Sloan party's position is to that the Wayfarer party's demands exceed the scope of discovery permitted by Rule 26b1, which the Wayfarer parties dispute, then the Sloan parties can assert such an objection in formal responses thereto, and the parties will meet and confer about the demands in the compliance with Your Honor's individual practices. Furthermore, if Sloan parties' role in the dispute is small, as they claim, but which the Wayfarer parties dispute, then it shouldn't be unduly burdensome for them to produce documents and information concerning the alleged minor role in the dispute. That's a really good point. Like, if you really had no major role, then it shouldn't be that hard for you to hand over the documents that prove that your role was minor and insignificant. Like, it's not burdensome, it's not cumbersome of you to have to provide this information in discovery. You shouldn't need to get out in discovery because this should actually help you get dismissed if you really didn't have much of a role in this case. The Sloan Party's motion refers to the court's recent order granting the New York Times Company's motion to stay discovery. However, in that order, the court reasoned with the New York Times' intention to revoke rights under New York's shield that raises delicate and complicated issues which would increase the burden of responding to discovery. The Sloan parties do not and cannot argue that any similar delicate or complicated discovery issue exists with respect to the information sought from them. So my understanding is the judge did grant the stay on discovery for the New York Times. So until there's a decision on whether or not the New York Times is dismissed from this lawsuit, they have been able to stay discovery. So they don't have to participate in the discovery process just yet, is my understanding, until there is a decision that is made on the dismissal. So New York Times kind of has their stuff put on pause for the moment until there's a decision on their dismissal. Leslie Sloan is also trying to have discovery paused until there's a decision on her dismissal. And I believe this will probably be the next filing from Ryan Reynolds now that he's filed his motion to dismiss, that he's also going to want to stay discovery. So they're saying that Sloan doesn't get the same privileges that the New York Times did because very different types of parties, right? The New York Times does have certain privileges that protect them, whereas the Sloan parties don't have that. Regardless of whether some or all of the Wayfair parties' claims against the Sloan parties are dismissed, which is doubtful, their words, not mine, which is doubtful. The Sloan parties are material witnesses with respect to the other claims herein. Hence, the Sloan parties will have discovery obligations as a non-party. So whether they get dismissed or not, they're still going to have, some sort of involvement in the discovery process regardless. So that's why they shouldn't be relieved of this. Although the court held that the dimensions of the discovery is permitted may vary depending on whether the New York Times is a defendant or a third party, and whether it was acting in a journalistic capacity or, as the Wayfair parties allege, as a co-conspirator with the Lively parties, the Sloan parties are not journalists and therefore cannot assert similar privileges as the New York Times. Basically what I just said before we read it. Second, the Wayfair parties will be unfairly prejudiced by the stay of discovery sought from the Sloan parties, and the Sloan parties acknowledge they have served discovery requests upon the Wayfair parties. In any event, the lack of prejudice to the Wayfair parties is insufficient to stay discovery given the other factors weighing against a stay. Third, the Sloan parties have not made a strong showing that the Wayfair parties' claims against them are unmeritless. That is true. They're just saying, we had nothing to do with it. And the Wayfair parties are saying, yes, you did. And she's saying, no, judge, I didn't. Dismiss me. And they're saying, well, why? Like, how have you proven that we don't have a case here? Like, prove it. Show us that you don't have a case. And also, why are you hiding from the discovery process? I guess it is standard, right? To file a motion to dismiss, try to delay the discovery process. We saw this with Leah McSweeney's lawsuit against Andy Cohen. He's filing to get dismissed, yada, yada, yada. Contrary to the Sloan's party's criticism about the impermissible group pleading, the first amended complaint adequately notifies the Sloan parties that the allegations against them are that they engaged in a conspiracy with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, collectively the Lively parties, to spread false and defamatory information about the Wayfair parties to various media outlets, including the Daily Mail, the New York Times, and principally pertained to accusations that Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath engaged in sexual misconduct towards Blake Lively, and that the Wayfair parties orchestrated a retaliatory smear campaign to damage Lively's image and reputation after she reported their purported misconduct. As set forth more fully in the Wayfair party's opposition to the dismissal motion, the First Amendment complaint adequately states claims for defamation, civil extortion, false light under the applicable California law. Indeed, the First Amended complaint specifically alleges that the Sloan parties made statements to reporters referring to Baldoni as a sexual predator and accusing him of sexual assault. Allegations which the court must assume are true and which the Sloan parties cannot legitimately contend are insufficient to support causes of action for defamation and false light. Although the Sloan parties argue that even the dismissal of only some but not all of the claims against them would drastically narrow the scope of party discovery, they neglect to explain how the outcome would narrow discovery, let alone drastically, given the Wayfair party's allegation that the Sloan parties engaged in a conspiracy while the Lively parties disseminate false and defamatory information concerning the Wayfair parties. We respectfully request the court deny the Sloan party's motion for a stay of discovery. Got it. Thank you. Okay. Team Lively keeps making it worse and worse for themselves. They really do. And she loves Brian Friedman and Justin, calls Justin. Who loves Brian Friedman and Justin? On E! News, the video, on an E! News video about this said her name was Leslie Stone. Do we think this was a mistake? Probably a mistake, which just shows you, you know, how much due diligence these reporters are out there doing. Well, Janelle, but let's discuss this. I don't think there has been a response to Ryan Reynolds yet, but I mean, aside from the statement that what's his name put out there, Brian Friedman, it doesn't appear that they've responded to it yet. I would imagine that they will either by end of week or early next week, because they seem to have responded to Sloan's motion to dismiss and stay discovery pretty quickly. So we shall see. We shall see. But I do want to give, before we dive into anything else, I do want to give a quick shout out and some love to my pals at Factor. What's going on, Factor? If you guys are ready to optimize your nutrition this year, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so that you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. Lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trials with Factor Keto. Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that you just can't beat. Listen, I'm all over the place, right? I'm running to and from the studio. I'm taping, the Pop Report. I'm taping No Filter. I'm taping my friends' podcasts. I'm doing press. I'm reading legal documents. So I don't always have time or even energy to make dinner sometimes. Or like I need something to eat after going to the gym. And again, sometimes I don't always have the energy to cook or just the desire. I'm just like, oh, I just want to order something. And then I'm like, wait, I have Factor meals in the fridge. Super easy. Plus, I have their Protein Plus plan, which is great because it's helping me keep those gains. Look at those gains. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Sorry, I was showing off. But listen, Factor's been helping me reach my fitness goals, and I know that they can help you reach yours as well. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Go get it, guys. Get it, get it, get it. Sklenar is finished in my books. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I used to love The Proposal, and now I can't watch it without getting angry. I'm gonna get it, Ooh, guys, can we get to 100 likes on this video? If you're watching this right now, we have 2,800 people watching this live. Hit the like button if you guys are watching. Ooh, guns. Oh, by the way, did any of you guys watch the documentary that aired? Someone sent me a still because I guess one of my Instagram videos. I don't even know which one, but somebody sent me a photo of it. Let me give a shout out. It was LBT on Instagram sent it to me, and she said, "Can't believe you're on my TV in Scotland." I'm like, "What? Is this The Traitors?" Very exciting. It's only in the UK for now. Well, it's also in Scotland. Well, yeah, it's in Scotland because she saw it in Scotland. Coming out in NYC in a few weeks. Yeah, but I believe the version that's coming out in the States, I believe it's coming out on HBO Max. but it's not gonna be the same version. Like, I believe it's like a condensed version, like an edited down version. So who knows? Yeah, it's cut apparently. Yeah, you can use a VPN to watch. I don't know what VPN is. I don't know what VPN means, and it sounds very complicated. And I'm not going to do that. If you have a clip that you want to send me, because I would love to know which video they ended up using of mine. I can see the still in this image, but I don't know. It says no filter with Zack on Instagram. They didn't even tell me they were using this, so somebody saw it in Scotland and was like, "Oh my god, let's get it." And I was like, "Yes, oh my god, let's get it." So, virtual proxy network, it's legal. You can change which country your IP is in. No, I know that. But it's very complicated, and I'm just like, yeah, no. Uh, Riley Jr., thanks for becoming a member. Christine Entia sent a super chat. Bren W sent a super chat and says, Zack, Ryan Reynolds basically admitted to the allegations. Pretty much. But he's saying, like, it was his whole, thank you. His whole thing was like so dumb because it's like, he's like, yeah, it's all true. Like, yeah, I trolled him in Nice Pull, but he just, doesn't have thick skin. He's thin skinned and he has hurt feelings. It's like, what? Like, that was wild. That he's really like, I did it and what? Like, it's not illegal to be an asshole. Like, okay. Riley said, Zach's headed to the gun show. Let's get it. Like, pew, pew. I'm like, come at me, Ryan Reynolds. Pew, pew, pew. PB says, I remember PB0707. I remember when Scandival took off, there was news every day. No one accused anyone of reporting info for money. Why is this happening? Well, technically, Sandoval did. He was like, stop using me for money. Remember? And then Sheena made the song. She's like, APPLES. How you like them? Saw you on the internet. You a hot mess. APPLES. You a hot mess. You a hot mess. So, and then Sandoval's like, stop making God, man. Stop like making songs about me, making money off of me. You're profiting off of my tragedy. God. So, yeah. You literally click on the map in the app. I promise, Zach, you're overthinking it. It's easy. I'm probably overthinking it. Brittany says, have you started to dive into the JFK files? Not yet. I was thinking of dedicating tomorrow, Thursday's episode of the podcast to the JFK files. So maybe we'll see. Ashley says he doesn't need to use the Deadpool franchise to be an asshole. He should have used his own theme, right? But it just goes to show you all these little things. That's why when I was talking about the Obama divorce rumors, the Jennifer Aniston stuff, and Melanie King's like, listen, Jennifer Aniston went on Jimmy Kimmel on Obama's birthday, and she was wearing the Marilyn Monroe Mr. President dress. And I was like, oh, that does sound kind of like a nod. And now we're seeing Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. They do these little Easter egg things, and they, play these little games in Hollywood. And to the naked eye, we wouldn't catch these things until you look into it. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. Timu Thor. Everyone calls Ryan or Brendan Sklenar Timu Thor. He's cute. I mean, he's a cutie. You can't deny that. Brandon Sklenar is a cutie. I don't really think of him as Thor, though. Isn't he trying to be Batman? He would be a cute Batman had he not really screwed himself with this whole Blake Lively stuff. Zach, you really should be using VPNs anyway for general safety since you're becoming more and more well known, especially every day, making enemy. Well, okay, well, don't give them any ideas, but like, what could they do? Hack my nudes? I'll post them on X for free. Well, actually, no, Venmo me. I really hope you covered the JFK files. I want to cover the JFK files. They do seem interesting. Brandon is boring, not my Batman. No, I really don't think he's cute. You guys don't think Brandon Sklenar is hot? I mean, I know we don't like him, and he clearly has no spine, right? So it's like, how are you going to ride him if there's no spine there? You're going to break him. But like, he is attractive. He's in 1923. It's a great show. Yeah. Really? He's not really? Like, are we just being like haters or like we really don't? Okay, I'm going to put a poll right now on YouTube, and I just like, tell me. You really think? Okay, I'm going to post a poll right now. Start a poll. Brandon Sklenar Sklenar. Hot or not? I'm very curious to see how this poll is going to go. I mean, we can like dislike him, but still be like, yeah, I would, hate bang him, He has nice thighs and a nice booty. Yeah, sounds like harassment, but yes, Brennan, absolutely. He's average, seriously. He's not ugly, but he's just meh. We think he's meh? Really? Brandon Sklenar. Hot. He's got a great body, you guys. Look at, let's see. We're going to do a share screen. We're going to see. Look, he's drinking out of the bathtub. I mean, this looks a little sloppy, not going to lie. Not a fan of him drinking out of the faucet, but like, come on, look at those shoulders. He's hot. I know we're mad at him, and we're okay, understandably so. Who's he making out with in the water? Who is this girl? Is that Dakota? What's her name? I mean, come on, look at those pecs, you guys. And then when he cleans, well, no, when he cleans up, he's cute. Look at that. Come on. He's a cutie. We have to give credit. Like, he's a cutie. Look at here. He is with Blake Lively, and he's like, look at my butt. And she's like, look at his butt. Here he is smoking a guys. Come on. We did not just fall out of a coconut tree. He absolutely is, I mean, the abs, look at that. Ooh, that's doing things to me right now with the water, and they're going up against the titties and things, and whoo. Okay, we need to turn this off. I'm getting a hot flash. Whew, okay. No, boring opportunity. He can be an opportunist, but like you can still be a cute opportunist. Justin's way. Okay, I will give you that. Justin, okay, we'll do some. He's hot, but terrible personality. Okay, see, somebody is honest. Thank you, Kenzie, for being honest. Right? We listen and we don't judge. Okay, what is the poll at? Let's see. Okay, not as well. It's like a watch what happens live poll. We're at 66% said not, and 34% of people say that he's hot. Okay, well, 34% of people are honest, sleazy, and dumb. Well, most of the hotties are kind of sleazy and kind of dumb. Not attractive at all. Guys, Zach, don't you dare turn to the dark side. You're awesome. I'm not going to turn to the dark side. I mean, I'll dabble for a night if he invites me over into the hotel room. Be like, okay, hi, Brandon Sklenar. Mm-hmm. Zach, I'm just getting hair in your face while watching Colleen Hoover videos is hysterical. I mean, that was wild. She was like, this is the best idea ever. You put Diet Pepsi in Diet Pepsi because we put water in water and we put wine in wine. I don't think Brandon is, you guys are wild. I don't think that Brandon Sklenar is boring or meh. But on that same note, it is only fair that we also give a little lurv in the club to Justin Baldoni, okay? So we'll do the same for Baldoni. Look at that. Okay, he is very, like, yummy. Like, hello. Baldoni, I mean, look at, okay, his arms. I mean, my gosh. Like, wow. Wow, look at him working out before he had to pick up Blake Lively when he was fat shaming. Oh, oh, hello. Oh, wow. Okay. Guys, it is too damn early in the morning. I mean, my goodness, though. Look at that. Justin Baldoni is doing all the things. I mean, hello. Hello. Look at him on a surfboard. 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 I mean, wowzers. Oh, here he is, WikiFeet. Does he have a good rating on WikiFeet? Let's see what his WikiFeet rating is. Wow. People really seem to like, he has 4.96. Wow. Do you think people are just rating this? I guess they don't show us. The images haven't. loaded. I don't know. We can't judge. Do you think Blake Lively is Ryan Reynolds on here? I always find WikiFeet to be quite hilarious. Oh, right, guys, Ryan Reynolds has a higher rate of 5.33 out of 5. How do you have over 5 out of 5? Now I need to see this. Like, what? Wow, you guys, you're letting Justin Baldoni down. Oh, wait, you can't even. This whole time, share this tab instead. This whole time, I thought you guys were seeing the WikiFeet. Interesting. Let me see if it'll let me. But look at Ryan Reynolds has a 5.33 on WikiFeet, and Justin Baldoni only has a 4.96. I think we're failing Justin on the WikiFeet here. We're failing him. Justin is so hot. Yeah, Baldoni is hot. He's absolutely hot. I love that we literally just went from breaking down a court filing to my lives have to be like an acid trip, right? We started with Colleen Hoover, Liddy City in her kitchen, high as a kite, and then we jumped over to the legal filings, and now we're comparing Justin Baldoni versus Ryan Reynolds' WikiFeet. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Ryan Reynolds bought his WikiFeet rating for 400 million. What is WikiFeet? So WikiFeet is like it's like a celebrity feed. I'm not on WikiFeet, am I? It's like a I love that I said it's a celebrity website, and then I'm like, I'm not on there, am I? Sorry, I was having a Blake Lively moment. But it's basically where they take photos of celebrities' feet, and then you're allowed to like rank them about like how pretty their feet are. Kenzie says WikiFeet cracks me up. Can you believe that Ryan Reynolds is beating Justin Baldoni on WikiFeet? Like that's wild. Like now, but we couldn't even pull up the actual images. Let's see. I'm gonna judge this live on the internet and see how worthy these are. Why are they not loading? None of the images are loading, so I can't judge. Got it. Oh. Is this? Oh, this is Justin Baldoni. Okay, so this is Justin Baldoni's WikiFeet. I mean, I don't understand. Oh, okay. Here's one. I mean, does he have is that a nice foot? Is that a 4 point whatever foot? Oh, he has a very nice leg. His body overall is very nice. I just want to know like how people determine like what is like I mean, they just look fairly standard in my opinion. I don't even know. Are they nice? Okay. Let's see, because Ryan Reynolds seems to be beating him. So let's go see if Ryan Reynolds' WikiFeed is any better because he's beating Justin Baldoni. What in the hell has my live become today? Ryan Reynolds. So you guys have to go and vote for Justin Baldoni's feet to beat Ryan Reynolds. You can't even see. Oh, look at it. It's Ryan and Blake. You can barely even see his feet there. Some of these photos are really bad and not fair. I don't. Is that better? Like, I feel like these look like old man feet. No? I'm very perplexed. Why is he naked? What in the coconut tree? I don't know. I'm not like that impressed by either of their feet, to be honest with you. Okay. Well, this was a fun detour. I guess they're nice, right? But better than Justin Baldoni's? I don't know. You guys, like, you're going to have to go vote. That's going to be the next one. That's okay. That's going to be the closing poll. Who has better feet? Justin Baldoni or Ryan Reynolds? I just showed you a few of them, and now you're going to determine whose feet are better. Ryan bought his wiki feet. Ryan bought his rating. Well, I mean, I feel like this is a when underlooked. Wiki feet looks like feet. Yeah, that was my takeaway. Oh wow. Enrique says, my biggest conflict with the whole lawsuit is that I still have a crush on Ryan Reynolds, and being a bad person doesn't make you ugly. Really? Of all of Okay, Enrique, I'm a little disappointed because of all of the parties that we have here, right? We have Justin Baldoni, we have Brandon Sklenar. I'll even let you put Brian Friedman on the table. And of all of the parties at the table here, you're gonna say that Ryan Reynolds is the one that you like over Brian Friedman? Obviously that's a joke, guys, but like, you know, can we rate Justin's lawyer's feet? You want to rate Brian Friedman's feet? Let's not. Do they have wiki butt? I don't know. Is wiki butt at the wiki butt? No. No. Wait, wikibutt.com. I don't think wikibutt. Okay. Nope, that is porn site. Okay, don't do that. Don't look that up. Men vote. It's obvious what's happening. What's happening? Appreciate you. Thank you. Justin is so hot. Yeah, I don't think Ryan Reynolds is that hot in comparison. Can we see a side by side? Okay, let me see if I can find a good like side by side. Well, I don't know, because some people are like, you have to go off at the top and then the soles, and I don't know. I feel like the fact that we've been able to still hold 2,800, the fact that 2,800 of you were here before the feet conversation and you're still on during the feet conversation is wild to me. I'm judging you very hard right now, and you better hit the like button. Zach, put your feet up. My feet? Why do you want my... Okay. There we go. You can put that on WikiFeet. I don't think I have a WikiFeet. Orion says, I was a nurse for almost 40 years. Pigs don't impress me. Well, you've seen everything, but you've seen the worst of the worst. As a nurse, though, have you seen like some good ones? Like, has there been like a really hot guy and you've been like, I have to give you a checkup, bend over, and then you pull the glove, you're like, the glove snaps, you know? Women don't vote feet. Oh, wiki hands. Do you like hands? I'm disturbed this feet site is a thing. Well, not only is it a thing, but there are ratings, and like look at the Baldoni has. Oh wait, look at, we can see it here. Look at if I stream. Let's come back to Justin Baldoni on WikiFeet. Look at Baldoni has how many? Oh, it doesn't. How many ratings do they have? Does it say how many people rated this? Oh, okay. So, okay. He only has 167 votes, Justin Baldoni. And then Ryan Reynolds. Oh, Ryan Reynolds has 555 votes. Interesting. I feel like Ryan Reynolds' photos are not. Okay, there's. Look, see, some of these photos, you can't really see anything. What is this? Okay, he's like, I'm running. Yeah, okay. So that was Ryan Reynolds. And then here's Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni posts his feet on Instagram quite a bit. He has a very high arch. Look, you can see. Ooh. Got a very high arch. See, but I don't know. That's kind of a. Oh, look at him. He's doing the thing. What do you call those? The ropes. See, but they look a little swollen, you know? Like, that's a little swollen. I feel like we need to get that checked out. This is him, I think, on Jane the Virgin. Interesting. This is so strange. The whole concept of WikiFeed and the fact that it's such a thing. I think both Ryan Reynolds and Justin Baldoni's chins are too strong for beauty. Torture. I call those ropes torture. I don't know what they're actually called, though. How many of those votes are good pull and bad pull? Nice pull, you mean? Ryan has more money to buy his votes. Well, it's not going very far because he only has 555 votes. I was so mad one time. I got a hot patient. he discharged first thing in the morning? Like out of his dick? Where did he discharge from? WikiFeed is what's wrong with our country. Is it though? I feel like of all the things that's wrong with this country, I feel like, you know. Justin has Roman feet. That's the best way to describe. That's a great description. He has Roman feet. And Ryan Reynolds has like pretty boy feet, you know? That makes sense. Okay, let's see what the poll has determined. Oh, you got wow. Nobody 2% of people voted for Ryan Reynolds. That is wow. That is wow. Wow. 2%. Well, oh, actually it went to less. It went to 1%. You guys, the final poll says Justin Baldoni was 98%, and then Ryan Reynolds has 1%. What's the other 1%? There's 1% missing. Is that like other, where it's like, what is your gender? And you're like, male, female, other. And the other is always like 1%. Every time I look at demographics on like Instagram or YouTube, and it like tells you your audience, and it's like, your audience is, a portion this or a portion that. And then there's always like a 1% other. And I'm like, what the fuck is other? CIA man hacked WikiFeed for Ryan. Oh, man. All right. Well. Elise says, I refuse to vote. Well, a lot of like 400 people did vote. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts if you feel so inclined. Please continue to comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you hit the little bell button down below under the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. That way, anytime there's a new video or a new live stream, you do get notified. So stay tuned. Have fun. Happy hump day. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll probably do a dive into the JFK files on Thursday. And then Friday is going to be our town hall with Dave Neal and Donna Bowling. There's also a new episode of the Pop Report that's out right now. So definitely tune in to me on the Pop Report with me and Andy Lawani. We dive into the Kim versus Kanye drama. We dive into Gwyneth Paltrow talking about the intimacy coordinator. Gwyneth Paltrow is basically like, screw intimacy coordinators. She's like, that's not how we do it in my day. Real actresses don't need intimacy coordinators. That was an interesting combo. Meghan Markle getting exposed for being a fraud yet again. All of that on the Pop Report. So go tune into the Pop Report. Also, don't miss Don't Let It Stew. I'm on Chef Stew's podcast today too. So get it. Love you. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Featuring Zack's feet. Take care of your feet. I will definitely take care of my feet so that I can get a good WikiFeet rating one day. One day. When I'm famous enough to be on WikiFeet. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.